Have you ever looked at someone else's art, their paintings, their music, their writing, their sculptures, and thought, I should be better by now. I'm behind. I'm too late. I used to think that every single day. For years, I had long periods where I didn't create at all. I would draw for a week, then stop for a month. I would get inspired and then disappear. And each time I returned to art, I felt like a beginner again. Like everyone else had somehow run ahead without me. And I hated that feeling. Welcome to my channel. My name is Janos. I'm a professional concept artist and I'm also a one-on-one teacher. I'm helping people to achieve their artistic dreams, if it's getting into a game studio, working in movies, or just improving their art skill. And if you like these type of videos, make sure to press the subscribe button in order to not miss any new video. One day, after looking through my old sketchbooks and recordings, I realized something very important. Something that completely changed my mindset. And that's the idea I want to share with you today. Your artist age. Not your real age, not how long you wish you had been creating, but how old your creative self actually is. And once you understand your artist age, everything about your progress, your confidence, and your expectations suddenly makes sense. Section 1. What is your artist age? Your artist age is a number of years you actually spend practicing your art consistently. Not thinking about art, not planning art, and not dreaming about art. Actually doing it. You can be 40 years old with a 1-year artist age, or 20 years old with a 10-year artist age. And that explains so much. It explains why you feel behind. It explains why your progress feels slow. It explains why your work doesn't yet match your taste. Your artist age is simply young. And a young artist, just like a young tree, needs to grow rings. Section 2. My personal struggle. The reset years. For a long time, I didn't understand this. I kept believing I wasn't talented enough, or disciplined enough, or gifted enough. But the truth was simpler. My artist age was very young because I kept stopping. Or actually, I never really started. Because when I was younger, my mother used to tell me, you should draw, you should paint, you should create. Because my mother is actually an artist. But she started making art when she was 40. And while she was making art, she was preaching to me I should start as well. And I never really listened to that. When I was 23, I started my art career. And I was always looking at other artists and asking myself, how can they be so mature in their work? Why do they have a specific style that I don't have? I always felt like I was chasing. But what I didn't realize was that I wasn't mature enough. Every break, every thought, every overthinking that led to a break resetted my confidence. Every pause made me feel like a beginner again. Every long gap made my creative self feel newborn. And if you've ever felt like you're constantly restarting your artistic life, you know exactly what I mean. We confuse being inexperienced with being not good enough. But it's just your artist age showing. Section 3. Starting early versus starting late. Here's something fascinating. The world is full of artists who started late, but grew incredibly fast. Let me tell you a few stories. Claude Monet didn't become Monet until much later in life. His entire early career was filled with rejections. Many critics called him childish. His artist age grew slowly, until he suddenly exploded into something new. Henri Rousseau, a customs officer, didn't start painting until he was 40. Critics laughed at him, literally laughed at him in his face. Toni Morrison published her first novel at 39. She said her early writing feels like childhood. Even thought she was an adult because her writing age was young. If you know Grandma Moses, she began painting in her 70s. By 80, she was a sensation. So all these stories show something very important. Your real age doesn't decide your potential. Your artist age does. Section 4. The stages of artistic maturity. Every artist, no matter their medium, grows through the same stages. Stage 1, the child stage. Everything feels new. You make big mistakes. You get frustrated fast. Your expectations are adult, but your artist age is still a child. The teenager stage. You experiment wildly. Some works great. Others are disasters. You start to feel a glimpse of your own voice, but you can't hold on to it yet. Stage 3, the adult stage. This is when you trust your hand, your ear, your eye, your choices. Your creativity feels like a conversation instead of a fight. And none of these stages are wrong or embarrassing. They're just your artist age growing. And let me tell you, after 10 years, I'm still in stage 2. I feel like a teenager every single day. How about you? Section 5. A universal truth across all art forms. What I love about this concept and the reason why I want to share this today is that it applies to everyone. A painter with 2 years of practice, a guitarist who picked up an instrument, a sculptor learning how clay behaves, a photographer exploring light for the first time. We're all the same in the beginning. Awkward, inconsistent, and overwhelmed. And the moment you stop judging yourself for that, your artist age grows faster. So focus on creating. Section 6. Daily practice and why it matters. One of the fastest way to grow your artist age is simple. Create every day. Even just a little. That is the first thing I teach every mentorship student that comes into my program. They have to create every single day. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be finished. It doesn't have to be impressive. A 10-minute sketch, a 5-minute guitar warm-up, a few sentences in a notebook. Small actions add years to your artist age. Many great artists knew this. Picasso sketched constantly. Thousands of pieces we never see. Bach, who wrote a piece of music every single day for years. Rodin sculpted hands and feet endlessly, understanding that mastery built in repetition. They weren't working towards masterpieces. They were growing their artist age. Section 7. Failure as a sign of growth. Failure is not a sign you're not talented. Failure is a sign your artist age is developing. A young dancer stumbles, a musician hits the wrong notes, or a painter creates muddy colors. As your artist age matures, failure stops being emotional. It becomes information. Mature artists don't make fewer mistakes. They simply fear mistakes less. They're actually looking for happy accidents in their work. You can even find the happiness in boredom and creating and stumble over things that you would never think that you were creating. Section 8. My experience with other artists. Over time, I had conversations with many artists. Over the past 7 years, I taught over 200 people. Beginners, returning artists, and people who were creating for years. And I've noticed something consistent. Most people judge themselves for having a young artist age. But when someone begins practicing regular, when they build a habit, you can see their creative self grow almost in real time. Their confidence expands, their decisions sharpen, their voice becomes clearer, and they don't even realize because they're in the trenches. Watching these transformations is one of the most rewarding parts of being a teacher. Section 9. The circle closes. So let me ask you again, what is your artist age? Maybe it's young, maybe it's just beginning, maybe it's starting over. That's not a problem. It's an invitation. Your creative life starts whenever you show up. And it grows a little more every time you return to work. Your real age doesn't really matter. Your artist age begins today with whatever you create next. Feel free to like this video. I appreciate you all. Thanks for being here and I hope your artist age keeps growing, one day at a time.